go. Here's Jacobs on the quarterback sneak, and he finds a hole, but he fumbles, and Argonauts recover on the Winnipeg 19.
A dramatic climax to the first overtime Grey Cup game.
McQuaid sweeping left, slips, fumbles the ball. Reggie Holmes recovers for Calgary.
There is Dave Cutler, the veteran kicker for the Edmonton Eskimos. The ball teed up on the 45-yard line. This field 110 yards long, 65 wide with those big 25-yard end zones. The Grey Cup of '81 is underway. That is Carl Brazeley, the ex-Montreal Alouette, across the 20-yard line, reaches the 23, and the Ottawa Rough Riders will take the ball from there for their first series of downs. The Riders with J.C. Watts at quarterback out of the University of Oklahoma. Pat Stokwa, wide receiver, who caught that 102-yard pass to get them into the championship game. And they've got a penalty marker down, so maybe Ottawa will not be starting just yet. Looks as though the Eskimos are going back to re-kick. Offside on the kickoff.
When you take a look at that, the right part of the field, you're going to see the infield here in Montreal. And we were down there, Don, and they're going to have some problem down there because it's raised up on some parts as much as 3 inches. So you may see defensive backs tripping or offensive receivers running patterns tripping.
That's where the Montreal Expos play baseball, that end of the field to your right as you look at it. So that will certainly come into play here this afternoon. Ottawa might get better field position here as they exercise the option of taking the offside penalty against the Eskimos and forcing Edmonton to kick off. So we restart this '81 Grey Cup game back at the Edmonton 40-yard line. There are indeed a few empty seats here in Montreal, and that is really unusual for a Grey Cup game. But of course, the hometown Alouettes aren't here. It's Ottawa with Brazeley back at his 3-yard line, gathering speed. But he'll be no better off, perhaps a couple of yards worse off than he was the first time on the good kickoff by Cutler. Cutler did not get a good one off the first time around. Gary Hayes, number 28, with a good tackle for the Edmonton Eskimos. So they'll be starting from the 21-yard line, the Ottawa Rough Riders. Receivers to watch for: Pat Stokwa, number 14, Jeff Avery, number 18, the wide threats, along with Kelvin Kirk, number 3, Tony Gabriel, of course, number 77. The back, Sam Platt, 26, and Jim Reed, 32. First down for J.C. Watts. Swings it out to Reed, the fullback, and he tumbles across the 25-yard line. Contact out there by number 24, Ed Jones of the Eskimos. Not too tall, Ed Jones.
Just to keep something in mind, that there are only 3 downs in Canadian football, so you're going to see about 80% passing and 20% running.
Certainly that has been the plan, and the plan that is brought about dominance by Edmonton throughout the years, but the game plan the Rough Riders will also have to pursue here today. This is 2nd down and 6. Lots of time for Watts. Gets it out to Platt out of the backfield. He's got a big Ottawa first down. Platt up near midfield for the Rough Riders. A big play by Sam Platt, who a year ago didn't know what a Grey Cup game was, his first year in the CFL.
I'll tell you what, Platt knows how to run when you have a screen play. This is a screen pass to the outside, but watch the blocking that Platt gets. And once he sees that open field, you're going to see at the end of this run, he's going to put his head down and try to dig for a little bit more. Right there is where he puts his head down. He wants to get a little bit more. Hayes is the man that makes the tackle.
Platt goes at 200 pounds out of Florida State, a rookie in the CFL with a big gainer for Ottawa. J.C. Watts can't find a receiver, and he'll hit the deck right there at the 55-yard line. Dale Potter, the linebacker, number 30, the veteran Canadian, tracked him down. Watts simply had his receivers shut down by the Eskimos.
All right, you're going to see J.C. Watts out of Oklahoma. Here he comes out to his left. Now, this is a tough thing because when you're a right-handed quarterback, you've got to stop and set up. Now he's trying to set up, and he can't. He sees Potter right in front of him. Potter makes the play for a loss.
Loss of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 13 now. Sparkling 35-yard gain by Sam Platt to give Ottawa good field position. 2nd down. He goes long. Tony Gabriel holds it in inside the Eskimo 30-yard line. Ed Jones took the limping Gabriel down, but he keeps his consecutive game record alive.
And Tony Gabriel didn't put much of a move on Jones. All he did was run down and just break it off to the corner. It was a long corner pattern, and J.C. Watts put the ball right on the money. And I think the interesting thing that you said, their quarterbacks at Oklahoma were not throwers. They were runners off of that wishbone. Here's a young man that came up here to Canada, and he can throw the football.
Going now from the Eskimo 29-yard line. The Riders taking charge on this first series beautifully as Platts gets outside. Platts inside the 25, down to about the 22. He'll have a gain of close to 7 yards on that carry. Let's go down to Tom on the sidelines now.
Don, you know, I had the pleasure of seeing Sam Platt play his college ball at Florida State. He started out as a wide receiver at FSU, was moved to running back, and then finished up as a wide receiver. So perhaps he was perfectly molded for the Canadian Football League. He can do both, run the ball and play an excellent wide receiver spot.
And he also blocks very well.
Second down, about 3. JC in a little trouble in the sack for the second time. The Eskimo defense led by Dave Boone and Tom Towns, the linebacker.
That time it was just excellent pass coverage by Edmonton. They had everyone covered. JC could not throw the ball away. He had to eat the ball. He did the smart thing.
So it'll be third down and long, and now we'll see Jerry Organ, one of the veteran kickers in the CFL, endeavoring to add to Ottawa's 22.5-point lead in the minds of the odds makers. But on the scoreboard here, if he hits, it'll be 3. The attempt will come from 34 yards away. Ottawa with an impressive early drive here to open this Grey Cup game. And they net 3 points from it as Oregon hits from 34 yards away. The Ottawa Rough Riders lead the Edmonton Eskimos 3-0 here with a Grey Cup game just 4 minutes old. Well, the Edmonton Eskimos have been well contained. They look a little bit like Mount St. Helens. You never know when it's going to explode.
That's true.
Still bubbling and simmering as Germany gets out across the 30-yard line and is contained for a gain of about 4 yards on that play by big Mike Raines out of Alabama, number 79. He's the defensive left tackle for the Ottawa Rough Riders.
We've played almost 8 minutes in this game. Isn't this the first running play? I think it is.
For the Eskimos.
Yes, Germany carrying the ball. He bounces back to the outside and picks up a couple of yards.
This just their second possession of the game, and they are second down and 6 from the 32-yard line. Trailing 3-0 past the midway mark of quarter one. Tom Scott, dangerous receiver, number 22, flaring out of there. Flags fly. The play's whistled down by the officials in the backfield. They took too long to get it away. Delay of game.
There's another rule that's different than the NFL. It's 20 seconds to get the ball away in Canadian football as opposed to 30 seconds in the NFL.
You imagine what Danny White, the Dallas Cowboys, would do? They're having trouble with 30 seconds.
He would have trouble with 45 seconds, I think.
So the Riders, of course, will take this, push Ottawa back. It'll be second down 11 now, and they'll be starting from the 27-yard line. The Eskimos have not had a good chance so far, thanks to Ottawa's aggressive defense. Their second possession, both at the Edmonton end of the field. Scott, 22, now moves in a little bit. Here's Warren Moon. Again, badly underthrowing. Neil Lumsden is back, coming out of the backfield. Also in the area was Tom Scott, but nowhere near them Rick Silvietta, number 75, back there defending. So Moon is being hassled early here.
Take a look at it. We're seeing the same thing that Ottawa did to Hamilton last week to get here to the Grey Cup. They're shutting down the wide receivers. The only person he has the chance to throw the ball to, even get close to, is Lumsden, but he throws the ball low. But this looks like last week's game against BC. Edmonton came out very slow, very sluggish, and then all of a sudden, when they had to, they put it together.
So they'll punt the ball away again in this three-down game of Canadian football. Third down and 11. A big high snap hauled down by Alisic. And he gives them plenty of good hang time here to Carl Brazeley. He finds a seam. Brazeley slips down at the 45-yard line. That looked more promising than it turned out to be. Slipped and did the hook slide right there at the 45, but he had a lot of opening for a moment.
Now, when you take a look at number 66 here, Greg Marshall, the big defensive end, there's a clip right there. See number 66 at the top of your screen, and they didn't call it.
Undetected. Ottawa Rough Riders with their head coach. There he is, George Brancato, liking what he sees so far. Remember, they were 22.5-point underdogs coming in. Watts puts it up. Stokwa again. It's a big play. Stokwa steps out of bounds, back at the 31-yard line, but again, the Riders are on the move.
Don, remember what he did last week, 101-yard touchdown pass. Stokwa is a good receiver. He's the slot back that comes out of the backfield. Now, this is a tough pass to throw for Watts because he's running to his left. He's a right-handed quarterback. Take a look at it, right on the money. The man covering was Hayes, but Stokwa did step out of bounds.
Nevertheless, he's got Ottawa possession, first down at the Edmonton 32-yard line, leading 3-0 over the Eskimos. The Riders, a big surprise and a pleasant surprise here for Grey Cup fans in the first quarter. Oh, they got to Sam Platt early that time, cut him right down. He'd been very effective previously. It was Gary Hayes as they were blitzing from the secondary. Hayes, the defensive right halfback.
Don't get confused when you're watching. You see the fullback take off before the ball snapped. Everybody that's in the backfield can be in motion. You're going to see 32 Reed right there going up into the hole. But watch Hayes. He comes down the line in a blitz. He is the halfback. Blitz. Este was also there.
Second down, 12, out once again. Now the backfield of Platt. He's hauled down early. And again, the Eskimos, when they're threatened, shut the Rough Riders down. Dan Kepley named the outstanding defensive player in the CFL, number 42, the Eskimos middle linebacker on that play.
That's tough duty when you have the middle linebacker covering a halfback coming out of the backfield, Platt, but he was right there man on man, gave him the little short dump, and it made the tackle.
Of course, as you know, the demands are much greater on a linebacker here because you've got to have that range and mobility, and Kepley indeed does.
I think the one thing that's indicative of all the linebackers in the CFL is their lateral moves. They've got to pursue left and right more so than deep.
From the 37, here's Oregon for the second time today. 34 yards, now 37 yards, and the Ottawa Rough Riders are 6-point leaders over the heavily favored Edmonton Eskimos with two very impressive drives against this tough Eskimo defense. But they've made big plays very few thought they could do against Edmonton.
Well, the one thing that we talked about at the beginning of the show is the fact that it would not be a blowout in the first half. I felt that Ottawa could stay with them. The question is how to contain it. I think the one thing, the most explosive offense in the CFL, Edmonton Eskimos, how to contain them for 60 minutes.
You can do it for 30, you can do it for 45, but indeed these games do run 60, and nobody has shut them down this year for the limit. Moon with all kinds of receivers on his left, puts it up, and is picked off by Rick Sovieta, number 75, and the Riders win a big turnover outside the Edmonton 40-yard line.
Don, this is frustration by the quarterback. He tried to force this ball. Number 75, Sovieta, Rick Sovieta, is the man that makes the play. He is trying to force the ball to Smith coming across the middle. He couldn't get it to him.
You just never know about a showdown sudden death game such as this as to what might happen. And Ottawa making it happen here in this first quarter, leading by 6, 4:15 left of the opening period. Watts on the move again. Puts it way up. The receiver's down. Interference. The Riders should have a first down at the Edmonton 5-yard line. Gary Hayes got all tangled up with Pat Stokwa at the 5-yard line, and the flag was dropped. He tackled him, I think.
He did tackle him. Kepley almost had Watts going to the outside, but he gets away from Kepley. He sees Stokwa going for the end zone and just threw the football. Hayes tackled him.
A big break for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Here it is.
All right, you're going to see Kepley come in. He almost makes the play. Right there, he goes down. Watts gets to the outside. Now watch Watts stop and set up, throw the football when he sees Stokwa downfield. And Hayes tackled him down on about the 8-yard line.
Look at the shot he got there. That was Kepley, number 42. That frustration showing up once again. I'd love to see what happened to Stokwa.
That was Kepley there, but the man I was talking about before, number 40, is Parker, excuse me. It was the man that almost had a shot at Watts.
The ball is at the 5-yard line. Tony Gabriel clarifying something with referee Bill Dell.
Well, the flag was thrown at the 8, but they also called a flag back here for the cheap shot on Watts that penalized him half the distance to the goal line.
Should be on the 4 then, right?
I think so, yeah, if they have the flag on the 8.
Well, the ball's on the 5, and it's first down and goal to go, Ottawa. Little fake to Platt. Into the end zone, double coverage. Stoquan. Claiming he was in bounds, but the official way back there said no, he had stepped out. 1 foot is all you need. He didn't have it.
Well, McLeod was back there with him along with Jones and Stoquan. Remember now, in Canadian football, the end zones are 25 yards deep, so you can still run streaking patterns. J.C. Watts was thinking about running here, but take a look at the Edmonton defense. They string it out. There's no place to go. Then he sees Stoquan. Now look at, he's all the way at the back of the end zone. You only have to get 1 foot in bounds in Canadian football, and that's questionable.
I know why he was arguing now.
If we can see it from the end zone side of it, from the side, we may be able to see if his foot's in or not.
Well, won't see it. Back to live action now. Gabriel down inside the 5, wrestled down there, short of the goal line.
This is where it's frustrating. You see the offensive line saying, Coach, we only have this much to go, 1 yard. Now remember another thing. If they get the ball inside the 1, they bring the ball back to the 1 yard line because the defensive line lines up 1 yard off the ball. So they can never get any closer than the 1 yard line.
Ed Jones made the big play on Gabriel right there to save the touchdown.
And they're going to go for it.
Ottawa Rough Riders take out Gabriel, put in Reed, and they are going to go. John Park for blocking, number 24 comes on, and the Riders get a touchdown. Jim Reed, the fullback. Ottawa leads 12-0.
Gutsy call, but again, you have to remember one thing, that the defense has to line up 1 yard off the ball. They were on the goal line. But they just gave it to the big power back Reed, and watch him, he just drives. The hole is there. The Ottawa offensive line just blew off Edmonton's defensive line. You'll see the hole from the backfield. This is what Reed sees. All he's got to do is get the nose of the ball across that line, touchdown.
And look at the emotion of these Ottawa players, because nobody really gave them any chance at all. They are now going to lead 13-0 if Jerry Organ can hit on this. And he does. Ottawa Rough Riders 13, Edmonton Eskimos nothing. It's getting late here, less than 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. An upset of the making? Well, we'll find out. Don't go away. We'll come back to Olympic Stadium in Montreal on ESPN right after this.
Well, Mr. Chevrier, we've done 2 upsets already. You think 3 for 3?
They do run in 3s sometimes. Eskimos trying to come back here now. That is Hayes getting out across the 30-yard line on the return of Jerry Organ's kickoff. Organ with 7 points on an extra and 2 field goals, and Jim Reed on the touchdown, as you saw. Ottawa gambling, and they capitalized on the turnover and went 69 yards in 7 plays to take this 13-0 lead with 2:50 remaining in quarter 1.
Well, we talked about the explosive offense of Edmonton, Don, and if ever they needed to start a drive to do something, it's now.
What they've done by maintaining control so much has kept their defense very fresh. These guys haven't been on only a couple of brief series for the Eskimos.
And that defensive line for Ottawa is fired up.
Piaskowski, Seymour, Raines, Marshall, good front 4. And there's a strikeout there to Brian Kelly, number 70. He gets out of bounds with the ball, and he will be up close to a first down. John Sutton, the cornerback, number 27, drove him out for Ottawa. And he could be a little bit short, maybe a yard shy. So it's 9 for Kelly at the 43-yard line.
What I like about this play is Boone is not, being down 13 points, is not trying to get it all back at once. What he's trying to do is just take what they're going to give him. They're going to give him the short passes. You're not going to shut this man down all day long, Kelly. He's an excellent receiver. He's got good moves. Sutton knocks him out of bounds. He is short.
2:21 remaining in the first quarter. This is second down 1, 43-yard line for the Edmonton Eskimos. And they, whoop, yes, they have it now. I'll tell you, initial contact at first down was not locked up. But Jim Germany hitting in there hard. will keep this Eskimo drive alive. The first time today they've gone to a second series of downs.
This whole place is made out of concrete, and that's what Germany thought he ran into, part of the building. He went into that line and just stopped.
John Glassford playing the middle, number 76, was that piece of concrete you talked about. So near the 45-yard line, the Eskimos have not had great field position. This Rider defense has contained them well so far. Confusion there. Receivers looking around as Moon again had to fire in a hurry. Number 71, Waddell Smith. 27, Marco Sinkar, and of course it's incomplete.
Well, Sinkar comes out of the backfield here. Take a look at him. He's going down through the zone. They're in the zone defense here. Sinkar looks over his head. The ball is actually thrown to Smith, number 71, but it wasn't even close to him.
Raisley, number 7, bats it down to make it 2nd down and 10 from the 45. Ooh, that big Western money must be a little nervous right now. Got a long way to go, though. Oh, that'll help them. That's the easy way to sack a quarterback. Get a head start by a couple of yards. Jim Piaskowski, number 73, just looped in ahead of the play, unless the Eskimos drew him there.
Well, Piaskowski did a smart thing. Now, even though he's offside, that's dumb. But the smart thing is to keep on going and don't stop, because you don't know whether it's going to be against the offense or not. He could have been drawn offside. He didn't slow down and say, oh, well, wait, I was offside. He kept right on going through it and sacked Moon, but it won't count.
No, he was offside, so they move it up 5. 2nd down and 5 now from the 50. Remember, 55 is midfield here. This field 110 yards long with those huge 25-yard end zones. Warren Moon, having to say the least, not a very satisfying day so far. At quarterback. Down he goes again. Big pressure. Seymour was there. Mike Raines and Marshall, but Raines made the contact.
Well, Raines makes the contact, but I want you to take a look at all 4 defensive linemen. They were all there, Don, all 4 guys. Piaskowski, Seymour, Raines, and Marshall, they're all in the backfield and in area of Warren Moon.
So now it is 3rd and 12, and the Eskimos will punt it away again. One more look at Moon on the pressure he faced. There they are, the entire Ottawa front 4.
Now you talk about the length of this field. You know, if you took the goalpost out of here, you could land a 747 in here.
Alisic, a little extra step, just got that away, but again, great hang time. Puts it way up there. This is Calvin Kirk. Backtracking. Might cost him. It does. Kirk gave up about 10 yards back around the 20 when he was hit by McLeod. There's Hugh Campbell, the head coach of the Edmonton Eskimos, looking for a record 4th consecutive Grey Cup.
He's looking for an offense right now.
He is so respected that Peter Pocklington, the owner of the Edmonton Oilers of the NHL, was almost serious about offering Hugh Campbell the head hockey coaching job with the Oilers. When asked about what does he know about hockey, he said, I don't care. The man's a great coach. He handles people well. He says he was serious about making the offer, but then thought better of it. Eskimos wouldn't let him go anyway. He's a great receiver in his day, Huey Campbell. And there is Platt, impressive early in the game, being contained better by the Eskimo defenders there, limited to a gain of about 2 yards at the 21. That was James Parker, number 40.
I don't want to see Ottawa get conservative. Don't stop doing what got you to 13 points. Keep it up. Throw those passes. Look at Gabriel. You've got him. You've got Stokwa coming out of the backfield.
It's about their worst field position of the day, similar to when they took the opening kickoff. But they made a couple of big plays to get out of there in a hurry. Watts will try now. Gets it out to Kirk. 30-yard line, stays in bounds. And he's got more room now. An extra 12 yards. Gary Hayes finally got a number 28.
Well, you know, Kirk, when he catches this ball, he can really make some people look silly.
He did.
Take a look at the people that are missing. That's Towns that's missing. That's Kepley, number 42, that misses. And then he picks up his blockers. Reed's downfield. Stokwa's downfield. And then finally, number 13, Highball is the man that makes the tackle.
And he drags him for an extra 3 yards, and that is the end of the first quarter with the Ottawa Rough Riders leading the Edmonton Eskimos 13-0. We'll be back. We start the second quarter of the Grey Cup game from Montreal. J.C. Watts puts it way up for Jeff Avery. And the interception by the Edmonton Eskimos, Joe Holloman, number 29.
Joe Holloman makes the interception on Avery, but I'll tell you what, Tony Gabriel came out of the backfield from his tight end position and ran over the defensive back, and I don't know why they didn't call offensive pass interference. I don't know if we'll be able to see this on the replay of Gabriel coming downfield. No, we don't have it. We're going to just see that the interception, Holloman taking the ball away from Avery. He had great position, got between the receiver and the ball.
And a little reminder that he won that one as he points to Avery. Early movement here could be procedure against the Edmonton Eskimos. Hector Poitier moving a little bit early, it appeared, or Bill Stevenson, number 62. Holloman, who made the interception, played his college football in Arkansas.
You know, when we were watching Hugh Campbell after that punt, Neil Lumsden was coming off the field, number 32, and he was chewing him out. He was doing, must have been doing something during that offensive series before.
Bill Stevenson, right tackle for the offense, offside. So they will go back to the 26-yard line. First down, 15, Edmonton now. Again, struggling for decent field position. Germany takes it upfield across the 30, roughly back to where they started. Germany from New Mexico. A dependable veteran here at the age of 28 with the Edmonton Eskimos. He is much of the Edmonton running game.
Well, he just got the 5 yards back, plus a half a yard. He got 5.5 yards back. He got the penalty back.
So you know what's coming now. Second down. That ball is going to be in the air if Moon can get it there, but I'll tell you that front four has been around him all day. Big Warren Moon from Washington. Better protection that time for him, but off the helmet of Piaskowski into the arms of the Rough Riders. They win the turnover at the 30-yard line. John Glassford had a gift interception off the helmet of defensive end Jim Piaskowski. It's worth at least one more look.
All right, Glassford, take a look at, here's one thing you teach defensive backs to do. They should go up for the ball. Glassford almost gets it taken away from him because the ball is coming down. He catches it in his gut instead of going up and taking the ball at the high point. He didn't do that. Kelly is the man that comes back and almost took the ball away from him.
So now the Ottawa Rough Riders threatening once again. J.C. Watts rolling out of there. He almost gave it back to Jones. Jones dropped the interception of the 20-yard line. Gabriel was the intended receiver. I'll tell you, Paul, if Ottawa, well, let's watch this for a moment.
Well, you see Jones, number 24. Now watch him close on Gabriel. That ball, he should have caught it, hit him right in the hands.
Gabriel doing some defending there, just batting it out of his hands. He was about to gather it in. I was going to say, if Ottawa gets even 3 here, it's going to be a long way back for the Eskimos, despite their tremendous dominance all season. They trail by 13 now. Second down 10, ball at the 33-yard line of Edmonton. Early in the second quarter. Now Watts gets a charge, but he's quick. He's got the whole left side, a flag down in the end zone, I believe. Here's Watts at the 15-yard line, still fighting, gets down to about the 13.
John Stoquois clipped, and they didn't call it. Now, you're going to see the speed of J.C. Watts out of Oklahoma. The young man has nobody open to the right-hand side, so he runs back there. That's Este, number 55, trying to catch him. But if 14, Stoquois comes into your picture, well, you just see him hit the ground, but he did clip. Look at the balance of Watts. At one hand, back up again, and picks up 3 more yards.
Incredibly, there was no flag on the play. We may be headed for a major Grey Cup upset here today. Here is Platt. Cuts in smartly at the 5. Platt is in for the Ottawa touchdown. They lead 19-0. What a move by Platt.
Mr. Chevrier, you saw a man do it on his own because there was no blocking out there. There was some screening, but he ran through tacklers. He wanted the end zone. We may not see not only the major upset, my friend, but a blowout by Ottawa.
That
over
is
Edmonton.
As good a run, Paul, as you'll see anywhere on an individual basis. As you say, he did it all by himself.
Mr. Sam Platt, I'll tell you, what a great run.
Now, Oregon with the point after attempt. He's there. If you had said early in the second quarter the score would be 20-0 Ottawa, they likely would have put you away. But that's exactly where it is right now. We'll be back from Olympic Stadium in Montreal right after this. Little over 6 minutes till halftime. First down. Flag is thrown. Watts to Stokwa. Oh, and he's rocked at a good hit out there. Number 28 leveled him, Gary Hayes. But there was a penalty marker thrown early. It'll be against the Riders.
It's against Ottawa. They had a man in motion, but he was across the line of scrimmage. And they'll bring it back.
Yeah, the motion here is legal, but you got to stay on your own side until the ball is snapped. That's the same. Procedure indicated by Bill Dell, the veteran referee working this game today, his 6th Grey Cup assignment.
And it was on Stokwa. That's why he was clear. Caught the defense standing there as he ran by.
You know, he really wasn't that much of a threat. He blossomed last week, and he's been dangerous here today. One long pass received already. Interference against him at the 5-yard line. The Eskimos have to respect him, I'll tell you. There's Tony Gabriel, number 77. That leg holding up pretty well. He was very doubtful for this game after being injured in Hamilton last weekend. Who else? Sam doesn't get very much that time. Platt is contained early across the 25-yard line, so the Ottawa Rough Riders will be second down. And a good 12 or 13 to go. Ron Este with a hit that time, number 55 out of Louisiana State. Veteran CFL player.
Well, what's been happening in this first quarter and the first 9 or 10 minutes of this second quarter is the fact that Edmonton, their defensive line, they've been catching. And the offensive line of Ottawa has just been sticking it to them.
Watts way back. Just threw it away. Well short of Calvin Kirk. Wisely unloading with the pressure being unloaded on him.
Dave Fennell, number 65, is the man that put the heat on him. And he had his shirt almost ripped off. He was trying to get back to the passer, to Watts. When you see Fennell walking off the field, his shirt's hanging out. They pulled it right out of his pants.
There's Jerry Organ. He has accounted for 2 field goals, 2 extra points. The Riders getting touchdowns from Reed and Platt will punt it away to Frietta, standing back at the 40-yard line. Marco Sincar there with him. And about the 43, Sincar just got that back. I'll tell you, he almost gave it away right there. John Glass was ready to pounce on it, but Sincar covered up. Well, that was Frietta.
He almost, that ball hit him right in the face mask. Frietta picks the ball up wisely. Once that ball is touched and he drops it, you don't have to worry about the 5 yards anymore, and they converged. Everything is going wrong with Edmonton right now.
They start from their 46-yard line with 4 minutes and 53 seconds until halftime, trailing 20-0. Jim Germany gets up for about 5, reaches the 50.
It's got to be very frustrating for Edmonton. Wilkinson, first Moon was in. They took him out. Now Tom Wilkinson's in the game. And down 20 points and running the football, they're just trying to get something started, Don. Whether it's the running game or the passing game, they can't get deep. They know that.
And they don't get too much on the running game out of normally explosive backs like Germany and Lumsden. Wilkinson, sideline pattern, and it's retained in bounds. Juggled out of bounds by Waddell Smith, but the catch was made, but I do not believe he made the first down.
He doesn't make the catch. I don't worry about the first down. He's juggling the ball. You have to have control of the ball when you go out of the field of play. Take a look at Smith. Waddell Smith, this ball bounces up in the air. Watch this play. Here comes the ball. He does not have any control of the ball. He caught the ball 7 yards out of bounds.
That's why the fans are booing, having seen that on the Olympic Stadium scoreboard, the replay.
The only thing that the official was looking at, Don, was his feet. He did not look at the ball. Well,
the catch is made, but they're still a yard short on third down. center field. 3 minutes and 51 seconds to play. Of course, that yard between the lines makes that gamble a little bit easier going for the first down. And it was Warren Moon back in there because he's more capable in that situation than Wilkinson would be. And it appears as though they have it, or they may call for a measurement.
They put Moon in as a running quarterback, huh? Here it goes. You got to remember now, again, I'm going to repeat, the defensive line is 1 yard off the ball. So it looks like it'd be very simple to pick up a half a yard, doesn't it? But you've told me before, you've seen so many games where it doesn't happen.
That's right.
Hugh Campbell.
Got to be concerned right now. This is not the way the script was written. They do have the first down, though. They'll keep going with 3:41 until halftime. And remember, in the final 3 minutes of each half, each team is entitled to call one and only one timeout. Wilkinson brings the Eskimos out again. Out of the backfield to Neil Lumsden. And he cannot elude the first tackle thrown on him by Rick Silvietta. Lumsden hauled down at around the 44-yard line. Will be again short of the first down.
And again, it's the short passes coming out of the backfield. Here it is again. Wilkinson's going out to the outside. He is looking short. He's just looking at Lumsden. He's not looking at any of the other players. This was the man he was going to throw to. He was his primary target. Gets him the ball, and he picks up 7 or 8 yards.
Yeah, maybe 9. It'll be second down about 1. But the Eskimos, you're right, have had to fight and struggle for every single first down, and they still have not put any points on the board. There's Lumsden. He'll keep this drive alive as he picks up the first down near the 43.
I think he may be a little bit short.
Well, they're going to measure. He gets a bad marking on that one, so they'll bring the chain out. While they do, well, I suspect all of the United States, Canada, and certainly the Olympic Stadium knows what the Eskimos will do here. They were short. They just brought Warren Moon back in. And he will be lunging for the inches he needs to keep this drive alive.
Designated runner.
The play is all his, and he makes it. And still struggling as he gets down to about the 40-yard line of Ottawa. So comfortably they have the first down and will continue with 2 minutes and 31 seconds left in the half.
Okay, the disadvantages. As you mentioned, in the last 3 minutes of the half and the last 3 minutes of the game, there is only one timeout per team. But the advantage is that in the last 3 minutes of the half and the last 3 minutes of the game, the clock stops after every play. And it isn't started until the official feels that everybody is set and they're back into the huddle.
Eskimos still have plenty of time here. Wilkie over the middle. Lumsden to the 25-yard line. Picks up 15. Another first down for the Eskimos. John Glassford brought him down, number 76.
Well, if you're wondering why Edmonton's moving the ball so well, what is happening now is Ottawa is going to let Edmonton take the short stuff. That's what they do here to Lumsden. There's Glassford. He comes in and makes the play. But the one thing that they don't want him to do is get that quick score. They're going to make him fight and take the 3 minutes to get the score.
Wilkinson. A pass to Sinkar, but Larry Brune, back from the Redskins, the National Football League, made an immediate tackle on him to contain him. They now have inside 2 minutes, 1:56 remaining until halftime.
Wilkinson to Sinkar. Brune's right out there. Sinkar's got a great mane on him, doesn't he? See that hair hanging out of the back? Here it is again. Here's the one before that, the one to Lumsden.
And that's what they're reduced to, is the short passing game to receivers swinging out.
Replays all over the place, aren't we?
Still just the one gain on that play. And again, they're going to be short of the first down. Had to be down around the 15.5-yard line. Germany, the ball carrier, number 25. But Ottawa with just aggressive football is the word for it. Hungry, fired up football, of course, with the offense getting points for them. They're all the higher and all the harder for the Eskimos to handle.
Well, another measurement.
Germany from New Mexico going out as they measure.
Enter Warren Moon.
Q Warren. Of course, most defenses suspect you'll do this on short yardage, but
they're going to kick a field
really give
goal,
it away. They've got too much to go this time. They'll try for 3.
I agree with this call, Don, because they have to put something on the board and let them know that they can score against Ottawa. How about a fake here?
Oh, yes, they have that in their book, no question. Dave Cutler with Tom Wilkinson, the quarterback, holding for him at around the 24-yard line. But he goes for it. Oh! It is wide, just hooked wide, and they will get a single point. Cutler doesn't do that very often.
You know, Don, this is one of the rules in Canadian football that I kind of question. You know, you're rewarded when you miss a field goal. You get 3 if you make it, but if you don't make it and they don't bring it out, you still get a point.
Yep, I agree. I think the punt rule is excellent.
Right.
For the single point, but you should not have a consolation prize at a missed field goal for distance. There's George Brancato, who has held this Edmonton team to a single point. You just saw it happen, and has a 20-1 lead. Those are about the odds, some said, against Ottawa being here today.
All right, 1 minute and 14 seconds to go in the first half.
Little fake to Platt. J.C. Watts sprints out and is ruled a catch. Up there to Jeff Avery with Larry Heibaugh covering him.
And Este has been close to Watts all day long. He just can't get to him, number 55. Ron Este, you're going to see him chasing Watts to the outside. And then the pass is thrown to Avery. He has to go down, makes the catch. And again, remember, the clock stops.
At 1:05. Now it moves again. Ottawa's second down. That was a 3-yard gain and 7 left for them. Here's Platt.
Now take your time out, Edmonton.
He's well short, about 3-4 yards shy of the first down across the 40-yard line. Dan Kepley with the containment there, number 42. That clock shows 48 seconds. And the Eskimos indeed have taken that timeout. Bill Dell says, oh, no, Edmonton called it.
Yeah,
Ottawa wouldn't do it right now. So the Eskimos want one more crack with the 48 seconds they will have left.
You know, I like the rules in Canadian football where you only have one timeout. That puts a lot of pressure on the coach. When do you use that one? You know, you sit back and think, in the NFL, you've got 3 timeouts per half. Here you only have 1. When do you use it? And the other thing, the rule I like is that the clock does stop after every play, and you can't sit on the lead and just say, okay, we'll just run the clock out and go on in at halftime. You've got to play football.
Like those banquets that give you 1 free drink ticket, you want to choose carefully. Well, this has been a shocker, but a pretty entertaining football game, Paul. No question about that. That blowout has not happened. In fact, it has in reverse. But you know the Eskimos have the potential to come back, and you can bet they'll be readjusting furiously in that Edmonton locker room at halftime. Right now, clock starts to move again. Oregon hits it down to about the 30-yard line. This is Sincar, and he does not get far. Tracked down early by the Ottawa special team at the 35. That was Val Belcher coming downfield, and it's going to be a question of trying to move the ball with 38 seconds at the disposal of the Edmonton Eskimos.
Well, with the clock stopping, you can eat up an awful lot of yardage in 38 seconds.
This Ottawa bench, a lively place to be right now, I'm sure. Tom Wilkinson coming off the bench, not expected to play today unless the Eskimos got a big lead. Pressed in early, Moon could not move the team. Hits over the middle there at the 48-yard line or 43-yard line. John Glassford put a good hit on. Again,
they're going to line up right on the ball.
They're going to hurry it with just 33 seconds remaining.
All right, here's Lumsden going across the middle again, and Glassford, that's his man. He's staying with him.
Now Kelly out of bounds, 50-yard line. And that'll move the yardsticks. They will have a first down.
Don, what are the seats, 65?
About 65,000 for football.
All right, here's Kelly to the outside, gets the ball, gets out of bounds, the clock stops. But it really is surprising. I thought that they said they had over 60,000 tickets sold, and I guarantee you that this place is half empty.
They do not have the people in the seats. They can match up with the money in the till as Waddell Smith can't hang on out there. Eskimos reduced to a short passing sideline game or little dump passes to backs coming over the middle.
Well, they're taking their defensive end, Hardy, number 15. the left halfback. He's just getting down about 45 yards downfield. They'll give you all the short stuff you want.
Hugh Campbell looks absolutely dumbfounded by all of this. He just can't believe it.
I'd like to mic him up at halftime and hear what he has to say.
Have to put a bleep in there. And Sinkar gets cut down early. John Sutton. And that's been the key. When they do give him the short pass, Ottawa has rarely missed a first tackle.
They are all over the field. They're giving him all the short stuff they want. Wilkinson comes out here. He sees Sinkar breaking to the outside. Sutton's right there. And you're right. They are not missing tackles, not like Edmonton's been doing.
Got to give them something, right? So they give him that and then make sure on the hit he does not advance beyond. And now we have 13 seconds left. It is 3rd down and 3. And of course the Eskimos will run a play here and hopefully get the clock down in case they do not make it. Turn the ball over. No time on the clock. He'll just put it up and hope. And it is knocked away into a big crowd up there. Carl Brazeley, number 7, was defending for the Ottawa Rough Riders. The linebacker Glassford way back there covering, and that is the end of the first half. Second half getting underway now, and Jerry Organ puts the ball in play. And Ottawa is as aggressive as they were in the first half. What a hit. Emilio Frietta just rocked down there by big Jim Reed, number 32. And this Ottawa team is not about to quit or sit back on that lead. Watch this hit.
Well, Reed is the fullback, so he doesn't get that many opportunities to tackle anybody. He's on offense all the time, except on special teams. He goes down and shows that maybe he could play a little defense if he had to. Warren Moon is the quarterback once more.
We have an Eskimo player down on that kickoff. Looks to be David Boone there, defensive end, number 64. Injured on that kick. Now that's Neil Lumsden. It was being attended to. So there'll be a bit of a delay. Coming out for Ottawa is Tim Hook. He was shaken up.
And there's that hit again by Reed.
All smiles, the Ottawa bench. There's Hook, number 64, shaken up. Watch number 32 if you can, Lumsden. He's the Eskimo player, was down for quite a while. The left of that play there. He was injured. Warren Moon will start the 3rd quarter. Can't find a receiver again. Down he goes in the grasp of John Glassford, who's played a super game at middle linebacker, number 76.
Warren Moon better be a little more conservative about rolling out to his right, because Greg Marshall is really putting the heat on Moon. He won't let him get to the outside. You see the big man, number 66, double team.
Yep.
And then Glassford comes in and puts a stop on Moon.
Marshall out of Oregon State, the Baltimore Colts. He is a good one. Moon, 2nd down. Double coverage. Hardy is there to pick it off for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Billy Hardy. Bill Stevenson finally got him down. Warren Moon looked as though he didn't want to throw, and now perhaps he shouldn't have thrown.
First of all, he should have never thrown this ball. He's trying to get the ball to Kelly, and he throws into double coverage. And watch number 15, Hardy. Now he becomes the receiver. He turns himself to offense, makes the catch. Kelly can't bring him down. Now he's looking for help, and he's going to get a lot of help. The only guy around is going to be number 71, Smith, and he can't get to him.
Hardy, obtained by Ottawa from Toronto this year, played his college football at Virginia Tech, and he wins it for the Riders at the 49-yard line of Edmonton. There's Platt. He ran into traffic and got driven back about 5 yards. Kepley really rocked him.
He ran into traffic, all right. He ran into a truck. Kepley just hammers Platt. This is supposed to be a screen pass, and Platt can't get to the outside. Take a look here. His blockers are there, so he cuts back to the inside. Watch the hit by number 42, Kepley, and he knocks back 5 yards into Towns, number 20.
So it's 2nd down and 15 now. Reed and Platt move up. And the Eskimos read that one. Platt coming around, looping around, was caught by Este in a hurry. So the Riders don't do much with it. They go to 3rd down and 10 or 20, and they're going to punt the ball away to Edmonton.
That is not a bad call against the blitz. It's a draw play because everybody is taking a lane. If he shakes the one tackler, he's in the open field because the defense has already dropped off. All the linebackers are rushing. Once it gets past that initial surge, the initial defensive line, he's gone.
There's Jerry Organ, number 71, the Ottawa punter. Good charge on him. Fine kick by Organ. Emilio Frietta back at his 13-yard line, giving up ground, and he will lose it. Way back to the 7-yard line. Larry Tipley, number 55, tracked him down. So the Eskimos, down by 19, will be starting deep when we come back to the Grey Cup game in Montreal right after this. Well, there were a lot of unknown Ottawa fans, too, but they're all out in the open now saying, I told you so. I look for the upset here today.
Yeah.
Of course, not very many really did. Moon has a strike over there to Kelly at the 25-yard line. That'll give him some room in which to operate, get them a 1st down. John Sutton pushed him out of bounds, number 27 for the Rough Riders. We still dominate this game. The Eskimos really haven't had much going.
Watch number 76, Glassford. He goes right after Moon, and once he gets rid of the ball, he puts him on the ground, gets the ball to Kelly, picks up the 1st down. Kelly faking that deep route, coming back. They know they can't get deep. Ottawa's giving him the short stuff.
And that's about all they're giving them. Out to Lumsden. Back in after being shaken up. And he gets it up to about the 32-yard line. He'll be a couple shy of the 1st down. Mitchell on the tackle there.
Gives you an idea what this defensive line is doing. Take a look at number 66, Greg Marshall. He gets blocked there by one guy, moves back to the outside, now comes back inside and gets hit by another man.
Well, Marshall, Raines, Seymour, and Piaskowski, Ottawa's front 4, with Glassford in the middle, have just played a super defensive game. 2nd down and 2. Moon can't find a receiver open. He'll run the ball. And he picks up the 1st down across the 35-yard line. Mitchell rocked him back, number 43, the rookie left corner linebacker for the Ottawa Rough Riders out of Long Beach State.
Frustrating for the quarterback. Warren Moon goes back. All of his receivers are covered. And you see that defensive line, they're all in the backfield. The linebackers have dropped off. Mitchell comes up and makes the play, but that's after Moon had already picked up the 1st down.
Paul, as Glassford made the hit, I think that's why Warren Moon is back in there, because that's what the Eskimos have to do, is get a mobile quarterback. Wilkie isn't that mobile. He passed short, passed well, but Moon is going to have to bail out on occasion. He does here to Jim Germany out of the backfield. Marshall got a piece of him, and he's finally taken down up around the 50-yard line.
They're doing what I said that they had to do, and that's take the short stuff. If that's all they're going to give them, take it, try to score, get your defense to stop Ottawa and get the ball back. And this is a nice dump pass to Jim Germany. He picks up the 1st down, and they're on the move.
Bruin finished the tackle. They have come a long way from their own 70-yard line on this series early in the 3rd quarter. 5 minutes in, the score is still Ottawa 20, Edmonton 1. Badly underthrown was Tom Scott, as Moon got decked as he unloaded the ball. There's Jim Piaskowski, number 73, right on him. Glassford there.
And Seymour there. They had 3 guys on Moon. This defensive line, you just can't say enough about them. They are doing such a great job getting to the quarterback. And Moon, every single time he runs to his left to try to throw the ball, he's throwing it short and into the ground.
Last year in the Grey Cup, Moon went to Tom Scott for 3 touchdowns. He has not completed a pass to Scott all day. That threat's been shut down. Brian Kelly only a couple of short ones. Waddell Smith, I think 1 reception so far. They are now 2nd down. Over the the top with a fine play over Tom Scott right there was Billy Hardee. And it's going to be 3rd down and 10 Eskimos.
Chevy, I'll tell you right now, Billy Hardee, you talk about perfect timing by a defensive back. Watch this play. He cannot touch the offensive man, but he goes over top of him and hits him as soon as the ball gets there.
Superb timing, as you say, by Hardee, as now Calvin Kirk goes back. He'll stand near the 15-yard line along with Carl Brazeley on the Ottawa punt return team. And Kalisic for Brazeley at the 10. Works the short side up to about the 27-yard line. Run out by Waddell Smith, number 71. And so the Ottawa Rough Riders will start from the 27, leading 20-1. 9 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. And there's no indication yet, Paul, that this football game is turning around.
Not at all. You know, you're watching Edmonton, and it's just total frustration has set in, Don. They can't do anything. Ottawa let them come out maybe 40 or 50 yards, bend a little bit. Then they stiff it up, shut them down. They've got the ball back. And what they have to do now is get this drive, keep their defense off the field and fresh.
J.C. Watts. Flag throw. Hits over the middle. Gabriel to about the 35-yard line. Penalty flag thrown just as Watts unloaded the ball. There's George Brancato. He chews ice throughout the entire game. He could be adding champagne to it in about 45 minutes or an hour.
I don't know if I'd be on a day like today eating a whole lot of ice.
Holding call against Ottawa. Will take it back. Ball will be placed at the 17-yard line. 1st down and 20.
And that ball was thrown to a man we haven't heard from very much in this game, except he did catch a long pass in the 1st quarter, Mr. Gabriel.
Big Mike Raines taking in some oxygen. Watts put it up. Little collision over there. Ruled incomplete. No penalty flag thrown. Calvin Kirk cutting against Gary Hayes.
Was throwing the ball to Kirk, and Holloman is the man, number 29, that comes up with the interception, or he thinks it's an interception. The referees don't think so. Excellent coverage. Watts should have never thrown this ball. Take the loss. He's got Kirk, and he sees him going downfield, but the only problem was that Watts was running the other way, and he couldn't get anything on it.
Did you see him shoulder him down as the ball came? Kirk got pushed down by the defender.
Well,
one more look at it here. This could have been pass interference, Paul.
Holloman grabbed him right at the line of scrimmage. All right.
There, now watch later, see?
He goes back into him. You got to remember, they both have a right to the ball, Don.
2nd down and 20. Threw it away over the head of Kirk, out of bounds, under pressure. So the Eskimos will get yet another chance. As Ottawa runs out of steam, we're about midway through this 3rd quarter. Ottawa still leading 20-1.
We are going to have a confrontation in this game. Belcher, number 68, the right guard, took Boone and drove him right into the turf.
And that takes some doing. Boone just going at 250 pounds. Low snap. Oregon has it away. Emilio Fraietta. Ottawa 45, Ottawa 41-yard line. That, I think, is the best shape the Eskimos have been in to start a series all day long. So we'll be back with the Eskimos taking possession in just a moment. Edmonton Eskimos with their best starting field position of the entire game, parked outside the Ottawa 40-yard line. This is Jim Germany hitting left for about 5 to 6 yards in the grasp of William Mitchell, the left corner linebacker, number 43.
In this situation down here, being down 20-1, I really don't think that Edmonton is looking at field goal here. I'm thinking they're looking at 3-down series where they're going to continue to run the ball and try to pick up the 1st down and score the major score, a touchdown.
They need big points. Down by 19. 7:15 in the 3rd quarter remaining. Warren Moon will bail out. Slides for a first down. Seymour finally pinned him down.
It is a first down. They said Moon dropped the ball, but that's after it hit the ground. But again, the defensive lineman, look at the pressure on Moon. The offensive line can't stop him. The defense knows they're in a position now where they have to throw the football, and all they're doing is teeing off. There's no deals in the line, no crossing of the tackles, no stunts. They're just teeing off and going after the quarterback.
The only new threat in this half to the Riders' defense is the possibility, as we saw there, of Moon running with the ball.
Here he goes.
Got some time now, and he will take it. Out of bounds he goes inside the 25-yard line. Glassford trailing him on the play, forcing him out. Picks up about 4.
You know, Chevy, we talked about how mobile the linebackers have to be. John Glassford at that time ran down Warren Moon and held him to a 4 or 5 yard gain, but it just shows the speed of Glassford, the middle linebacker, getting back to the outside and catching Moon.
Remember the desperation toss by Wilkinson on the final play of the first half, about 40 yards downfield? Glassford standing right next to where the ball was knocked out. That's mobility for a linebacker. Second down, 6, over the middle. Neil Lumsden reaches the 15-yard line. It should be another Edmonton first down as they keep this important drive going. Rick Sovieta defending for Ottawa, number 75.
Sovieta's there, and also Glassford is there, John Glassford. What they're doing is just dumping the ball to Lumsden coming across the middle. You see Sovieta there, Glassford's also there. And so is Piaskowski, number 73, the defensive end.
Sovieta from Richmond. Glassford, fine Canadian linebacker. Now Moon puts it up. Sinkar brings it down. They rule no catch. Or do they? It's going to be a completion.
And Piaskowski and Seymour are both on Moon again. All right, Sinkar's down. He just curls up at about the 4 yard line, slides into the 2, and then he comes back to the ball. Excuse me, that's not him. That's Scott.
Tommy Scott.
He got help downfield on the catch by Sutton. Sutton knocked the ball back into his hands, because watch the ball. It goes outside of his right arm. Scott goes up in the air, and Sutton's going to knock the ball right back into his hands.
So the Eskimos are inside the 5. First down and down to the 1 yard line. Mitchell made the containment there. Germany. Lumsden trying to take it in. Lumsden blocking for Germany.
Germany, he's talking to the official. Watch, there's a face mask here. They almost rip his face off. Take a look at Germany going into the line. But watch the tackle right there. There's the face mask.
Not detected by the officials. A yard and a half away from their first touchdown of the day. The Edmonton Eskimos on second down. On the motion right. And in for the touchdown goes Jim Germany.
Jim Germany wanted this play. Just take a look at it. He follows his fullback into the line of scrimmage. That's Lumsden, number 32, blocking in front of him, and just dives over the goal line. Touchdown. Good play. Here he goes again. Right behind his fullback, cuts to the inside and stays low. Doesn't get way up in the air where the linebackers can get a shot at him. He gets down low and turns his shoulders to take the smallest part of his body that they can take a shot at, and they can't get him. Germany gets in for the touchdown. There goes the fullback, Lumsden, into the line of scrimmage. Gets a good block on Marshall, number 66. Germany scores the touchdown.
Let's go down to Tom Mees now.
All right, Don. Marshall, the injured Ottawa player, number 66, was double teamed on that play about a yard and a half away from the end zone. He really got his right leg clocked from 2 different angles. I had a good view, but he seems to be okay now, though. As far as the Edmonton offensive line, they've taken over the initiative, at least in that last drive. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, blowing out the ball. And even though the defense has to line up a yard off the line of scrimmage, they were being pushed way back. So Hugh Campbell must have told them something in the locker room at halftime as Edmonton preparing for the single point after touchdown with Dave Cutler.
Yeah, Tommy, he told him something. He said, you better win or else.
There are a lot of people here.
That always works, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
A lot of people are going to be in shock if they don't. They've come back a little bit here. The point after is through by Dave Cutler. And the score now is Ottawa 20 and Edmonton 8. As the Eskimos, with their best starting field position for a series of the entire day, went from the 41-yard line, capped by Germany's 1.5-yard plunge right here for the touchdown.
And you can see the explosiveness of Edmonton. And again, they were very patient on that drive. They did have excellent field position, but they're a patient football team. They're a well-coached football team. And there's the man that does it all, Hugh Campbell.
Out of the state of Washington, one of the finest wide receivers ever to play in the Canadian Football League, and now one of the all-time great coaches here. Looking for his 4th consecutive Grey Cup championship. It is unprecedented, but it is also not yet attainable because they're down by 12 points. And we have 4 minutes and 5 seconds of third quarter playing time remaining. The kickoff by Cutler is deep. This is Braisley. And he gets cracked down early as he crossed the 20-yard line by Dan Kearns, number 58.
And Braisley is holding his knee. Braisley's hurt. Dan Kearns just leveled him.
Let's go down to Tom.
Don, they're working on his right knee. Carl Braisley, who of course started the season with the Montreal Alouettes, has had a fine game today as a defensive back. They're working on his knee and his thigh area. It may be just some cramps. They're massaging the right thigh. Hopefully it's not a knee. They straighten the right leg out right away. The trainer is there working on it, bending the ankle joint and massaging the right thigh. And now it appears that maybe it was just a cramp of some sort. We'll have to wait and see. Braisley is still in a lot of pain, and Paul, as a former player, you know, even if it is a cramping problem, those things can be very painful.
It certainly is, and what happens is that you're not taking your salt, young man, even though it's cold.
Let's watch what happened to him here, Paul.
Well, Kearns comes down and just gives him a great shot, but he's not hurt. He didn't hurt his leg, and the first thing that they did is one of his teammates ran over to him, and I think it was Reed, number 32, and pulled his toes back, and that's the one thing that happens is your feet go pointing down like a punter would, and you can't get down there and grab them. It's a tough thing to do. It's almost like a rock, and you've got to push your toes back towards your calf.
They are still working on him. Braisley, good defensive back, 24 years old, out of Western Kentucky. As Tom said, starting out this season with Montreal, winding up with Ottawa, and it's changes like that, the addition of Braisley, Larry Brune, and others that have really brought about the major improvement in this Ottawa Football Club the last few weeks of the season.
You know, you talk about so many imports or Americans that are playing up here, but they're only allowed 15 of them on a team out of the 34 players. There are only 34 players per team, but out of the 15, only 14 can play in a game.
Well, Braisley still getting work, so we have a timeout here at the Olympic Stadium with Ottawa leading Edmonton 20-8. Don Chevrier, Paul McGuire, and Tom Mees back with you at Olympic Stadium in Montreal, where the upset is still very much in the making. Ottawa Rough Riders, underdogs by as much as 24 points. There's Carl Braisley now, testing that leg coming off, leading Edmonton by 12 at 20-8. Ottawa first down, their own 22.5-yard line. They slash through on Watts, and they get him. Dave Fennell, Dr. Death, number 65.
Well, Dr. Death, they finally got to J.C. Watts. He just shot the gap. Nobody blocked him. Watts was rolling in that direction, and Fennell went after him. It looks like the defense, they've got it back together now. And you're going to see number 65, Fennell, just shoot the gap on the outside. Nobody blocked him, and he brings J.C. Watts down for about an 11-yard loss.
I think the good doctor was on the golf course in the first half, but he's back now. And again, Watts, fumbles the ball. It's still loose, and the Eskimos come up with it inside the 5-yard line. Dan Ketley down there on top of the pile. The man on the bottom with the ball is Dale Potter, and what a turnover for Edmonton.
This is a team that makes their breaks. They have done it all year long. They're a hustling football team. They got back in striking distance, only 12 down. You see J.C. Watts coming out to the outside, and he just gets sandwiched between Parker, and I didn't get the number of the other guy. He drops the football, Number 67, Phillips, the guard, tried to pick it up. Instead of falling on the ball, he tried to pick the ball up.
And
Edmonton
Potter came up with
it.
it. Yep, at the 3-yard line. That could be the turnaround play of the Grey Cup game right there. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in quarter 3 as Lumsden is nowhere to go and a penalty marker is down. Could be illegal procedure against Edmonton. That's the indication. Referee Bill Dell will straighten it out.
It's only a 5-yard penalty. They stopped it right at the line of scrimmage. The ball is at the 3-yard line. I don't know if I would take this penalty to give him that extra down.
Well, you got to be confident you can contain them right there on second down from 3 yards away. And the Eskimos have been tougher in there. There's the indication of the 5-yard assessment, and they will take it.
Well, I'm wrong again, but that's all right.
Well, not bad thinking.
Well, they just shut him down, and to give him that extra down again, I don't know whether it's worth the 5 yards in this situation. The defense is doing a good job.
Especially with the big end zone of 25 yards for Moon to throw into. Let's see what they do. First down repeated now from the 8-yard line. Well, they're back there, the 3 again. Sinkar hauled that pass in. Mark Philp, number 17, put an immediate hit on him for Ottawa.
Sinkar just slips out of the backfield, and it's just a quick dump pass by Moon. Good catch.
Sure was.
Now they're back to the original line of scrimmage.
So, the argument's strictly academic. It's second down. This is where you wanted them to be a play ago. Let's see what happens. Germany and Lumsden, the backs lined up. Lumsden now shifts to the left. Fake to Germany. Moon's got a lot of field out there. Sovieta try to cut him down, and they hold him out. John Sutton supporting Sovieta saved the touchdown. Great pursuit and reaction by the Ottawa defenders.
All right, Sovieta does get help from Sutton. Kelly comes back, number 70. When he sees Moon running with the football, the only problem is he just doesn't block anybody. Number 75 is Sovieta. He is chasing Moon to the corner. Sutton's going to come in, but you see Kelly right there. He didn't block anyone.
Great play by Sutton with Sovieta trying to contain him on the sidelines, and Sutton was injured for his efforts. That's the Ottawa player down with the ball at the 1-yard line and third and last down in this series coming up. There's been a considerable amount of hitting, Mr. McGuire, today in this contest.
They are taking it to each other. You know, there's no tomorrow in this game. This is the Super Bowl of Canadian football, the Grey Cup. And Ottawa, who would have thunk Ottawa would be here, number 1. But they played such great football against Hamilton. They did knock off Montreal. And here they, in the first half, almost destroying Edmonton. But now Edmonton has the momentum back to their side. Chevy, they're going to go for it here. They're bringing Moon back on. I don't know. It's only a yard to go. Remember now that Moon got inside the 1. Again, I'll repeat, the ball comes back to the 1-yard line. The defense has to line up on the goal line, 1 yard away. I think I would take the 3 here. Then it only puts you 9 points down. A touchdown and a field goal wins the football game for you. But their thinking is probably if they don't make it, Ottawa has to go 109 yards for a score.
Well, they have such great confidence all year long in this kind of situation against any kind of opposition. These Eskimos, despite being down today, honestly feel they can make it. There's Sutton. We expect he will be back. Huey Campbell is going to go from the 1-yard line with Warren Moon carrying himself for the touchdown. And the Edmonton Eskimos, so badly beaten in the first half, are right back into this Grey Cup game.
Warren Moon, your designated runner on short yardage. The defensive line goes down. The offensive line just lays on top of him, and Moon goes over the top. The defensive line, when you charge, you've got to come up, come straight up. What happens is they just buried the defensive tackle, Seymour, and Moon went right over the top.
It is now a 20-14 game. with the point after touchdown attempt by Dave Cutler about to be executed. Wilkinson holding for him. There it is. The spread now is 5 as the Edmonton Eskimos creep back on the Ottawa Rough Riders with 1:06 to play in this third quarter. It is now Ottawa leading at 20-15.
We are witnessing 2 different football games on the same day. First it was all Ottawa in the first half. Now it's all Edmonton. Ottawa has got to do something offensively and move the football and keep that defense off the field like they did in the first half.
All right, let's go down to Tom once again.
Don, from the sidelines, where I'm also seeing 2 different football games, we're seeing the professionalism of the Edmonton Eskimos coming through here, down 20-1 at halftime. A lot of teams would have panicked. After all, this is the Canadian Super Bowl, but they have come out and dominated this game in the second half. Yeah, they got the break, but the thing is they made the break. They forced Watts to fumble the ball. He was under tremendous pressure, and then they capitalized on the break, and now all of a sudden the score is gone to 20-15, and we're right back in a great ball game again. This is without a doubt the most important offensive series of the day coming up for Ottawa.
Cutler down to Brazeley. Brazeley threading his way through, and Ottawa's got a good start at the 39-yard line. Dale Potter brought him down. So Edmonton didn't take long for that last scoring drive when they pounced on the fumble at the 3-yard line. A penalty set them back. In they went. It's 20-15, and here's that good run back by Brazeley.
Isn't it amazing how you can bounce back from an injury? All it was a cramp, but Brazeley is still a good runner. Take a look at it right here. He sees that opening, goes up and gives Ottawa a good position, good field position on the 39-yard line. But they have to move the ball. They have to score.
J.C. Watts. Tony Gabriel wide open. The great hands, the legs failing, and Gabriel out of bounds. The 48 of Ottawa, Ed Jones, made the tackle on him.
Look at Gabriel. He's talking to Jones, too, saying, I can beat you all day long. All I got to do is throw the ball to me. You're going to see Tony Gabriel come all the way across the field. Jones is trying to stay with him. He can't do that. Gabriel, I said before, those soft hands, catches the ball, but you can see him, Don, dragging his left leg. He just couldn't get his leg up to get the speed. He doesn't have that much speed anyway.
But those hands, well, they make up for a lot. And Ottawa may well be going to Gabriel quite a bit in this situation. They put it up now for Stoquois. Double coverage. Larry Highball intercepts for the Edmonton Eskimos. That's a pass I'll bet Watts wished he hadn't thrown. Pat Stoquois had no chance against 2 defenders, and Highball simply picked it off.
This is a case of a quarterback. He is going to throw the ball to the receiver no matter what. Did not read the defense. There was double coverage. He's trying to stick the ball into Stoquois. Highball goes up and gets the football. It's an interception. But the ball should have never been thrown. And the worst part about it is he was the designated receiver right off the bat. Watts did not look at anybody else. He was the man he was going to throw to and couldn't get the ball to him.
So the Eskimos win the turnover at the 20-yard line. Highball's interception, their own 20, with just 5 seconds left in quarter number 3 as Moon fires it out to a wide-open Neil Lumsden. Lumsden cracks down across the 35. It'll be first down Eskimos. Glassford with the tackle on what is the final play, it appears, of the third quarter of the 1981 Grey Cup game. We come down to the home stretch now with the Eskimos coming back. They're down by 5 here in beautiful Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Warren Moon starts the Eskimos out, going deep, knocked away in front of Waddell Smith. Brazeley was back there. Young Mark Philp on the coverage, but Brazeley made the big play.
You know, for 2 teams that got this far to the Grey Cup, it's been a long time since I've seen quarterbacks trying to force the ball. Here you see Warren Moon. Brazeley has been playing super defense. He's all over Smith. You got to be able to read that man is there. I know he had pressure on him and he threw the ball, but he should have not thrown the ball to Smith. There are other people that are open. He's not finding the open receiver.
Second down 10. The Eskimo 38-yard line. Fourth quarter just underway. A 5-point difference here, and that is incomplete. Tom Scott could not get his hands on it. Larry Broom is covering along with Billy Hardy.
He had two people downfield running curl-in patterns. Kelly was one and Scott's the other one. He threw the ball too far in front of Scott, but when Kelly made his turn to the outside, or to the inside, excuse me, he slipped and fell down. Moon is looking at him right there. Then he decides to come back late. It's just the ball it's a bad pass and almost picked off by Hardy.
He had a shot at it as the punt return team drops back to the area of the 25-yard line. Kirk and Brazeley. Hank Alisic.
Oh, great kick.
He played pro football as a punter when he was still in high school in Edmonton, Alberta, 17 years of age. Here's Kirk. Flag is thrown. Kirk gets through. Kirk up to the 35-yard line. The penalty marker way back in the area where he caught the ball. And Glassford might have been tagged for holding.
Glassford's going to be down by Kirk downfield, and he is the man that's holding.
Number 76, watch for him there on the left.
He's holding Towns, number 20. And the official called it. You see the flag? And this hurts. You got a good run back. You would have had good field position. Now you're back in the hole again. They called clipping on the play.
Well, that penalty is worth about 32 yards. That's the difference from where they'll be as to where he was.
Just a super kick, though. Put him deep in their territory. You see Kirk breaking a tackle, bringing the ball out, all for naught. Now they're in trouble.
Now you watch this Eskimo defense attack in here. They want to win that ball back and get the go-ahead points. Ottawa in a real hole here with 13:40 to play and a 5-point lead. Platt gives them some room. Platt out over the 15-yard line, picks up about 7. Tom Towns took him down, number 20.
That play was designed to run to the right-hand side. Platt saw that everything was bottled up in there, so he broke it out to the left-hand side, and he picked up 8 yards. Great picture of the lights.
Well, the Eskimos have been hurt. Slightly more of the two in terms of penalties, as you see, as he makes his strike over the center again to Tony Gabriel. And as Paul said, that's what they've got to keep doing. Don't throw with those deep men are double covered. You know Gabriel will work his way free, and Kepley made the tackle on Gabriel right there. It's first down Ottawa.
You remember we talked at the beginning about Gabriel, how important he is to this football team. This is what I was talking about earlier about catching in a crowd. He has a man all over him.
Jones all over.
Jones is all over his back, and he still catches the football. This is defensive pass interference. That's number 1. They don't call that because he's got his hand all over his back, but he still catches the football, and he knows he's going to get hammered and holds on to it.
Now Jones being attended to. Ottawa has the ball up at their own 20-yard line now. A little more room in which to operate. Time, of course, a big factor for the Eskimos, but plenty of it left. 12:51. The site of the Olympic Games here in 1976. This helicopter shot showing it to you here on this fairly pleasant but chilly late November day. We've got a break in the action here in the Grey Cup. Ottawa leads by 5, and we'll be right back. J.C. Watts for Ottawa. Out to Calvin Kirk, and out of bounds he goes. Up across the 30-yard line. Could be another first down for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Larry Highbaugh forced him out. Paul, this is the series right here where the Riders have to get something going to move upfield. They're doing a good job of it.
J.C. Watts sees Kirk out there by himself, so he just pops that pass. It's almost like a pickoff play. Highbaugh finally comes up, but take a look at Kirk just diving for the first down.
Riders now at their own 31-yard line with the first down. Time all important. 12 minutes remaining. J.C. Watts, oh, a great catch. Is it ruled a catch and a fumble? The ball's still free. They ruled he was down. They ruled Tony Gabriel was down with a catch. Ed Jones defending on the play, and I'm not so sure.
Well, the funny part about it is when you look at the official standing there, he never moves. Once he calls the play down, there's people diving all over the place, going for the football. But watch the official, if we can see him in the frame here. All right, here he is. Gabriel's going down. That's a fumble.
Yep, it came out before he hit the ground.
The ball is out. Whether he caught the ball or not is questionable, but that was a fumble. The official standing there, he did not see the ball going down between his legs. One of the other officials should have called it.
And they get the first down. Up now at the 41-yard line. Ottawa started out deep inside their own 10. And they need to control this and keep it away, of course, from the Eskimos, poised for a comeback just 5 points in arrears. Platt lost it, got it back, but will lose on the play. He'll give up about 3 yards. Dan Kepley, very close to the action as he so often is, number 42.
One of the best linebackers in the entire CFL. He reads the draw play extremely well. Take a look at it right here. Platt's there. Fennell is also there. When they get Platt hemmed in, Kepley does the job on him.
Named as the outstanding defensive player in the entire CFL at the National Football Awards this past week. Dan Kepley. 2nd down, 13. J.C. Watts and the Ottawa Rough Riders, and he is being pursued here, but he's got speed. Rocked down by Dave Fennell as he hit the 45-yard line, and he will be considerably short of the 1st down, getting back about 6 or 7. So Ottawa will be punting to Edmonton with 10:52 left.
Want to see something frustrating? Watch number 42, Kepley, again. Now he chases J.C. Watts for almost 50 yards across the field. Remember, it's 65 yards wide, and still never gets a shot at him. That's frustrating.
I think Dave Fennell made up for him in the way of a shot. So Oregon to punt. Eskimos, deep receivers back at the 28-yard line, 25-yard line now. This is for Sinkar. Nowhere to go. So he'll take the 31. The Eskimos will start from there with 10.5 minutes of 81 Grey Cup action remaining here in Montreal.
It's amazing. We've only seen one single today, and that was on a missed field goal by Edmonton. No punts have gone into the end zone or even close to the end zone.
However, if this gets to be a 1 or 2 point difference, that's going to become an all-important factor in this Grey Cup game as we get down to the closing minutes. Here's a stand the Riders must take right here, Paul, against this Eskimo team. They've moved the ball at will in the 2nd half. Defense overwhelmed them in the 1st half, but Moon has made things happen here. Look out, Warren. Gets it away. It is, almost picked off by Braisley. Glassford with the pressure on Moon made him hurry the throw, and Braisley did a juggling act that did not win him the ball.
What they're doing, both teams now, Kepley for Edmonton and now Glassford for Ottawa, they are shooting the middle linebacker. As soon as the quarterback rolls out Moon here, but take a look at, I don't think Braisley saw the football. The ball hits him in the hands. He was looking to get the receiver. All of a sudden, here's the ball there, and it hits him off the arm. Braisley has touched like 4 different balls today, and he has intercepted 1, I believe. But he was looking at the receiver. All of a sudden, here comes the ball. Should have had it.
Missed a great opportunity right there as Moon on 2nd down. Can't find a receiver. Fumbles the football. Ottawa Rough Riders come up with it at the 23-yard line. Greg Marshall got it. Doug Seymour had a first shot. Now Marshall and the Riders make a big play right there. Tom?
Number 73, Piaskowski, got his arms around Warren Moon. Again, it happened right in front of me, and he forced the fumble, as we see on the replay. There he comes, right there. 73 was at 76. 76 forced the fumble, and Johnny on the spot. The Ottawa Rough Riders have a big turnover at the 22-yard line, 1st and 10.
Seymour had the ball and was bent on giving it away for a while until he got some support and hung onto it. Brian Kelly almost got that for the Eskimos, but Ottawa has it.
The guy that made the hit was Greg Marshall. He came from the backside. He just blindsided Moon.
Watts, a fake to Platt, bails out, back to Platt. Can't shake the tackle thrown on him at the 25-yard line by Dan Kepley. Kepley doesn't let go very often.
Fennell was in there. The whole defensive line was there. It was a total breakdown by the offensive line of Ottawa. It was a play-action play, and the defensive line just broke through. He had nowhere to go, and all Watts could do was dump the ball off the Platt, and he lost 2 yards on the play.
I tell you, I wouldn't get too cute here. If you stay close for a field goal, you're ahead by 8. They lead by 5 right now. 2nd down and 13, and they keep it low profile with Platt. Platt cutting in around the 20-yard line. You'll see Oregon come in now for a field goal attempt.
Okay, this could put him up by 8. But remember, in the CFL, you can go for 2. All right, here's Kepley again. This guy is just a super football player. He's being blocked there by Phillips, but he gets back out of the block and comes back in and makes the play.
Dan Kepley, the best at his trade in the CFL. Came from East Carolina into Canada into football stardom. Here is the field goal attempt. Avery holding from the 28-yard line, and Oregon is good. He's 3 for 3 on the day. 34, 37 now, 28 yards on Ottawa. He's got a lead of 23 to 15 with just 8:22 to go.
Getting down to 6 minutes in the game, the crucial time. Edmonton has to do something on this drive.
Sincar and Frietta standing inside the 35-yard line. Takes an Ottawa bounce down to Sincar. Sincar all tied up right there at the 35. Eskimos starting out with 5:58 remaining in regulation time. And remember, with a 2-point conversion rule Paul alluded to, overtime's a possibility here, and if we have it, it'll be in the form of 2 10-minute halves, and they'll continue until a winner's decided. More ice for George Brancato.
I'll tell you, George is a tough man. He's got just chewing on. How many buckets does he go through a game?
About a bucket and a half. When he goes to the dentist, he doesn't need freezing. They're still cold from the day before. Warren move. Trying to bring the Eskimos back. Lunging away, getting it downfield, and there is Tom Scott, the hero of last year's Grey Cup game at the 40-yard line of Ottawa. Big play right there. Billy Hardy forced him out of bounds. Tom?
I want to tell you, Mike Raines, the 8-year veteran out of Alabama, number 79 for the Rough Riders, a defensive tackle. Guys, he came within a whisker dragging Warren Moon down, and what a big play that could be in this football game. It may not be reported in the newspapers, but if Edmonton scores, mark that one down. Raines almost had a sack.
He got hung up on what is second base when the Expos play here, I think.
That's right.
Couldn't quite get him. So first down from the Ottawa 40 for Edmonton with 5:15 remaining now. Moon. Another strike on the sideline as Sincar slides out of bounds inside the 30. Larry Brune covering for the Rough Riders. Well, you sense it happening. You sense it coming, Paul, don't you?
Yeah, here it comes now because Moon is getting time. He's rolling out to his left, a right-handed quarterback. Sees Sincar breaking to the outside. Just a short dump pass. And Brune is the guy that's out there covering, but he already picked up the first down. Moon is taking his time. They're under 5 minutes now, 4:55 and counting.
With a first down from the 25 of Ottawa. Here's the charge on Moon. Had to hurry. Gets it away. Lumsden, 5-yard line. Lumsden all the way down. They'll mark him at the 2. So the Eskimos are knocking on the door for the tying points. Mark Philp finally hit him down just short of a touchdown.
And you're going to see Raines and Marshall in Moon's face again. That's Marshall, the man that puts the hit on him. Lumsden just comes out of the backfield, and there was a missed tackle by Mitchell, number 43. Lumsden's down to the 1.5-yard line. Look out, 2-point play. There's Mitchell missing Lumsden there. Also Brazeley missing him.
Philp hit him down just in time. They're at the 1.5-yard line. First and goal to go, Edmonton trailing 23-15. And now they're down by a single point. Warren move.
Somebody said yesterday, Chevy, that maybe we might look at overtime. They said, no way in this football game. This will be out of reach by the middle of the third quarter.
There's the Eskimo fire wagon going up and down the sidelines. Did not use a drop of gas in the first half.
They had to push it. Watch, all the backs go to the left. Warren Moon just takes the ball and dives over top. And Edmonton did it again. Ottawa buried themselves. They just went over top. Touchdown.
Now, do you go the conventional route right here, hope for a field goal opportunity, or do you go for the 2 points, the tie at this stage, Paul, with 4 minutes left?
Well, you go for the 2 points. I think you do anyway, because even if you don't tie up the game, you're only that, the 2 points down. A field goal still wins it for you. In order to win the game in a tie anyway, you're going to have a field goal or a touchdown. So it really doesn't make any difference. You do go for the 2 here, and the ball is on the 5-yard line.
So they will attempt to tie, trailing by 2 points. Big pursuit on Warren Moon. And they've got it. Sin Carr ties the ball game.
Greg Marshall is really frustrated. He's just getting up off the field. The big defensive end has played some kind of football game. Look at this. He loves it, and almost gets to Warren Moon, but Moon finds Sin Carr coming back across the middle. He had 2 receivers there, but Sin Carr takes the ball, gets the 2 points. We have a tie football game. Here it goes again. Watch Marshall coming from the outside. Almost gets to Moon.
Bingo, right there. So the Eskimos, who were outscored 20-1, have now outscored Ottawa 22-3 in this half.
That's a duck. Big duck.
Yeah, good size.
I'd like to see the eggs that thing had laid. Could feed a family of 40.
Well, no one's ducking out of here now with 4:05 left, I'll tell you that much. These teams tied at 23.
I'm not going to comment on that. Very good.
Kickoff by Cutler. Ottawa needs a drive here to get down to field goal range. Little Squibber hops along to Brazeley. He's in heavy traffic and will settle for the 32-yard line. Bill Manchuk with the tackle, but the Eskimos traveled 75 yards to produce the tying points, and George Brancato is concerned for the first time today. It's been all his way up until this 4th quarter when the Eskimos have come charging back, getting close in the 3rd, and then the 8 points on the converted 2-point conversion as a tie on the scoreboard, the Grey Cup final. Tom?
Don, you know, I'm supposed to go into the locker room of the winning team to conduct post-game interviews. I don't know where I'm going to go right now.
I can't help you. Really, we're going to have to sit this one out and see what happens here. This Super Bowl of Canada, the Grey Cup, the oldest trophy of professional football, about to be decided in the next 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Could go either way. J.C. Watts looks deep, and it's out of bounds. Stokwa again, double coverage on him. Would not have had a chance, really, had that ball been in play. The coverage again so good on the Ottawa deep threats.
It is excellent downfield. You got Jones is down there. They're just double covering Stokwa. They've got him short. That's Jones on him short. And McLeod has got him deep. But the thing about it is when you roll out, Don, to one side or the other, that cuts your field down to a 1/3. Anything way back to the other side, it's almost impossible to get there because you got to realize this field is 65 yards wide.
So it is 2nd and 10, the 32-yard line of Ottawa. Pennell with pressure. Watts can't find a man open, lobs it up there. Gabriel, there's a flag thrown. Gabriel was interfered with, but he makes the catch. Gary Hayes all over him, but Tony Gabriel, the limping, hurting veteran, has made a big, big play right there.
I gotta see this. I don't know if this is offensive pass interference or not, but I think it should be. Watch Gabriel. He pushes off. He can't even hardly walk. Look at this. His leg is killing him. He's going to be down there fighting Hayes. But watch what he does. He bangs him right there. That isn't where they call the interference. They're going to call it right here. Look at his left arm. Gabriel catches the ball.
It's got to be against Hayes, I would think.
I don't know. They're talking it over. I would be surprised to see it on Gabriel. Look at Gabriel. He's looking at the sideline. His leg is really hurting him.
Boy,
it looks like he pulled his hamstring.
Yeah, to go along with the bad knee he came in with. Tom?
Well, Tony Gabriel sustained a bad hit on that left leg. I was just going to mention that. He was getting in position to catch that ball, and the defensive back came up and nailed him from the left side. He's really angry about that, and he's angry at the officials as well. I believe maybe he wanted a roughing call, but as it stands, we have a pass interference call.
Well, Paul and I were both right.
Both ways.
It goes either way.
I don't think I've ever seen this before, but you're seeing offense and defensive pass interference.
Well, why not let him, if he made the catch with all that going on, let him keep it.
Good thought. Gabriel.
But it's coming back.
You got to admire the guts of this guy. He's got a pulled hamstring. It's not his knee. Now the fight begins. He and Hayes. There's offensive pass interference. There's your defensive pass interference. Now there's your offensive pass interference again. 2-1, they should have given it to the defense.
Second down, back inside the Ottawa 40. Watts is smothered. Ron Este all over J.C. Watts, and Ottawa is going to punt and give this ball up to the Eskimos in pretty good shape.
You know, when you see this kind of a football game, you like to see them just both walk off with split the trophy right down the middle and go into a tie. But Este just took off, knew Watts had to throw the football, and this fourth quarter especially, the Ottawa offensive line, they just had too many breakdowns, Don. There's Tony Gabriel.
Talk about heart. This man has given it all for the Ottawa Rough Riders today. And now the Eskimos are about to get this ball back, as we say, in excellent field position. 2 minutes, 52 seconds remaining as the Eskimos send their punt return men back around the 50-yard line. Back at the 45 now they go. Tony Gabriel, if you have to go out, well, he'd love to go with the Grey Cup championship, but on a personal basis, this man has gone out with his head held high. 11 years ending today. Great CFL career. Jerry Organ. Good kick. Sinkar inside his 40-yard line. Met by Sutton, and he gets some support. Silvietta rolls him down at the 42.
And Mr. Gabriel, Don, has had 6 catches for 75 yards today. What a job he's done. Now, let me explain something here. There's 2 minutes and 33 seconds to go. Remember the ways that you can score. The field goal, obviously. The touchdown, obviously. But if they get in a position where they have to punt the ball, if they kick the ball in the end zone and they don't bring it out, it is a point.
Even on a wide field goal attempt, as we saw earlier. Warren Moon over the middle, trying to grind up some short yardage here to Tom Scott. Penalty marker is down, however.
And it's against Ottawa.
2 minutes, 28 seconds remaining now. 1 timeout available.
Moon is just dumping the ball to the wingback coming out of the backfield. That's Sinkar.
It has been declined. They'll take the gain to Sinkar, number 27. And first down, Edmonton. It'll be at the 51-yard line of the Ottawa Rough Riders, just trying to grind in a bit closer for Dave Cutler for what could be the winning points of the Grey Cup game. Ball comes free. It is ruled incomplete. Tom Scott could not hang on to it.
One other thing I might mention here is if they do punt, if they get in a position to punt, and if the punter kicks the ball into the end zone and kicks it out of bounds across the goal line, it is a point and there's no run back. But if he kicks the ball in the end zone, the defense at that point can take the ball and either run it out for no points or kick it back out.
Yes, and that has happened in key situations late in the game. Again, that same problem, it appears, Harold Brazeley is having.
You can't imagine, unless you've had cramps in your calf, how painful that thing really is, and it's like a rock. And they can't afford to lose this young man. He's been all over the field.
What do you think Campbell and Cal Murphy are telling Warren Moon right now? I would say to exercise, there's the Grey Cup, and we'll have a holder of that in a couple of minutes. I would think exercise some caution. Stay with a short game. Let's work in close. We've got time. No panic here. I wouldn't think they'd put it up deep unless they had to.
No, Ottawa is giving the short routes. They're giving them the 7-8 yard pattern. They could break it into a 15-yard pattern. Give him that. But I hate to see this young man go out of the football game because he had such a great afternoon.
It's a tough time to lose him with the Eskimos trying to move in for field goal range. Mark Philp, Larry Brune, John Sutton Hardy, and Glenn Cook, I think now will be the 5 deep backs for Ottawa Rough Riders.
There's the Grey Cup. Looks silver to me.
The Silver Cup. Former Governor General of Canada, the donor of that cup, Earl Grey. And many great Grey Cup performances of years gone by have come down to the final moments of play.
That's Don Chevrier in his younger years when he was just a child.
Well, that's Ottawa Rough Riders. They're great teams in the late 60s. Jack Goda, now at Calgary, was the head coach when they were winning Grey Cups previously. As Paul said, they've won 3 straight, not consecutively, but their last 3 appearances coming in here. The Eskimos have won the last 3 Grey Cups in a row. So one streak's going to end here today, but which way is it going? 2:18 remaining.
Tom Mees didn't know you had those moves. I saw him last night when the check came after we had dinner, the moves you had.
Excellent. Still got them. Over the table and out the door. Moon can't hang. Oh, he's held onto the ball. Thought it came loose for a minute down there, but he gets just over the 50-yard line to about the 52. Well short of the first down. And I would suggest well out of the field goal range of Dave Cutler. A big play right there for Ottawa.
All right, here's Warren Moon. He goes back in the pocket. There's just no place to go. Raines is the man that makes the tackle on him. Now, you want to explain this overtime if we get into this thing?
It's not sudden death. It's 2 10-minute halves. Intermission after regulation time, and they will play a quarter at a time, only their 10 minutes duration. Lissick. He gets the punt of a lifetime off, could reach the end zone. Ottawa defender stationed near the 5-yard line. He gives it a good shot. He is into the end zone. They got to run this out, or it's a single point to decide the game, perhaps. And Calvin Kirk is out at about the 12-yard line.
Calvin Kirk isn't down yet.
He's
the official never blew the
15-yard
whistle.
line. He was not officially down. So he saved a point on a tremendous punt by Hank Lissick.
Here's Calvin Kirk, but just take a look at this at the end. Edmonton gets a little bit lax here. All right, Calvin Kirk, he's hit. There's about 4 or 5 guys there, but look, he never goes down. His knee never touches. Finally, they put the stop. That's Lissick, the punter. Now, Don, about the overtime. The reason it goes 2 10-minute halves because of the scoring, the punt. They don't want someone to go out, spend all that time, and have somebody punt the ball in the end zone and win it by 1 point.
A quick single might settle it otherwise. Yeah, here's Watts. Off the hand of his receiver, going out there, reaching up for Pat Stillquaw. Watts had to hurry that throw with now 1:40 remaining.
All right, let me refresh your memories again, folks. There is only 1 timeout per team in the half, and that only can come in the last 3 minutes. We are at 1:40. The clock stops after every single play, so you cannot run the clock out.
Clock showing 1:40. Ottawa needs to move this ball upfield. They don't dare punt from here and give the Eskimos a second chance to go in for the winning field goal. Big play for the Rough Riders right now as Watts goes way, way downfield. Oh! Almost had Kirk just off his fingertips with double coverage from McLeod and from Joe Holloman.
Holloman is claiming that it was pass interference. Kirk is claiming pass interference, but Kirk should have caught the ball. The ball hits him right in the hands. This is by far one of the best passes that J.C. Watts has thrown today. Take a look at this ball. He lays it out, and it goes right off the hands of Kirk.
Oh,
perfect pass.
You say quarterbacks at Oklahoma aren't really good at throwing, huh?
That's what they used to say.
Boy, this man can throw it. 60 yards, that effort. You're right. Kirk should have had it. Now, Ottawa must punt the ball away with 1:33 left.
Great kick.
Frietta near the 50-yard line. He is across center field outside the Ottawa 50 with 1:22 remaining. Billy Hardee took him down.
Okay, Coach, what do? You're going to run the ball and hope the punter can get it into the end zone? Or you're not going to go deep. What you want is the short stuff. If Boone's going to do anything right now, it's to take and throw the ball to Sincar. He's been open going down the middle all day. Get him that little pop pass. Now they come coming out in the flat.
Jim Germany taken down at the 41-yard line of Ottawa, getting closer and closer to field goal range. And how long Kirk will think about the pass that went off his fingertips that had put Ottawa, had he taken it in field goal range, that could have been their victory right there.
Well, they brought everybody to the left-hand side. They only had 1 man in the backfield. That was Jim Germany. They're measuring for the first down here. but he picks up at least 9.5 yards. Maybe did get the first down. He's a little bit short. I wonder who's going to carry the ball.
Warren somebody. Probably Moon.
Mr. Moon.
Bring in some extra blocking for him. 1:16, the clock now moving, a 23-23 tie for the Grey Cup. And it's been a great one. There's Moon. He will get the first down across the 40-yard line with 1:04 remaining. With that yard between lines, the offensive line can really spring out of there and do a job for a quarterback.
All the games we've done, I've never seen him stop him with a half a yard to go yet. You said you've seen it before. I guess it is possible, but it just looks like this offensive line of Edmonton, they just tuck it in and go. Warren Moon just gets the ball, and you all really have to do is fall forward with the defensive yard off the ball.
First down, Edmonton. 51 seconds remaining. Germany into about the 30-yard line. That's getting a lot more comfortable for Dave Cutler. 44 seconds left. A big play right there.
Now, let me ask you this, Don. You've seen a lot more Canadian football than I have. Now you're in this situation. You've got 44 seconds. They're going to start the clock. Would they kick a field goal and risk it, or would they punt?
They have been known to punt, and perhaps it is a safer move with a strong leg like Hank Olisic has, because you run the risk of blocking a field goal in this situation.
Field goal, you're only back 7 yards from the ball. The punter can get back as much as 15 yards or more if he has to.
Remember, 1 point is available in this game, and that's all the Eskimos need right now to win the Grey Cup with 35 seconds left. This is second down, however. We're a play away from that situation.
I wouldn't even risk a handoff in here. I don't think I'd keep the ball myself. No, they're going to go right up the middle.
Get down to about the 21-yard line, and now let's see what they're going to do. Clock shows 24 seconds. It is a first down. Will they run one more play?
Well, you've got 20 seconds to run off here to get the ball. That would give them 4 seconds. I would run the 20 seconds off the clock, call a timeout, your only timeout, and then go back and punt the football. Don't even take the risk of running another play. But I imagine I'll be wrong again. I just think that'd be the smart play. It'll give you 4 seconds. You'll be able to get the punt off, and the game would be over.
Moon taking his time. It's down to 11 seconds now. First down. Germany for a couple at about the 20-yard line. The clock stops with 6 seconds showing. Edmonton knocking on the door. Germany has been hurt. Trying to come back from that overwhelming 20-1 deficit at halftime. And Eskimos have called time. They want to make sure they can get this in. And Germany, in any event, is being attended to down at the 20-yard line. Tom Wilkinson's coming in. They're going to go for a field goal. Wilkinson is the holder.
I hate to see this game come down to 1 point, but I'll tell you, I think that I would punt the football.
So would I. Oh, Brancato just said Jerry Organ out to return this, kick it out of the end zone if need be, but Germany is still receiving attention.
All right, we're down to that classic example that we were talking about. All right, here's Germany's run, and he gets hit right at the line of scrimmage by Mitchell, number 43. But now they have the punter, Oregon, that is back in the end zone. And if the ball would come to him, he would take the ball and kick it back out.
And this injury is certainly giving whoever kicks it, Olisic or Dave Cutler, a lot of time to think about what they have to do. Overtime again, if there is overtime, will be in the form of 2 10-minute halves.
And if I was Ottawa, as soon as Germany gets up and they get off the field and Edmonton is ready to go, I'd call another timeout. I'd use my only timeout and give them a little bit more to think about.
Cutler missed earlier on a field goal that hooked right of the post. That went for a single point. If it is to be a field goal, it'll come from around the 27-yard line. Slight angle left as Germany makes his way out. Again, that rule for the single point, which was called a rouge in bygone days, is that if the ball is kicked by a placement, that is a field goal, or a punt into the end zone, and is not returned by the defending team, it is 1 point, even on a field goal attempt that should happen to go wide. But there was Dave Cutler, number 26, the veteran out there, against the best advice of Paul McGuire, ready to attempt a field goal. But I agree, the punt is the play here. Look how deep the defenders are, right back to the dead ball line.
And we're back to that thing again, where even if you miss a field goal, you get rewarded by 1 point, which is one rule I just don't like.
So here it is. Now they will call an Ottawa timeout and make Cutler a little more nervous for a minute or so.
Well, as I talked about, you want to make him nervous. Now, if you, Campbell, if I were you, the reason I'm saying you punt the ball, because there's too many things that can happen. The ball has to be centered to the holder. And it's a combination of the center, the holder, and the kicker. You've got 3 people. Now with a punter, you only have 2 people. You have the center and the kicker. Kick the punt, take the least risk of all, and that's punting the football.
And you know they'll be coming with 9 bodies at you, just throwing caution to the wind. Ottawa would have 3 and have 3. They've been waiting in the end zone for about 5 minutes now.
And the way Alissic's been punting the football, Don, there's no reason why he couldn't kick it out of here. Because on a missed field goal, there's going to be an opportunity to run it back. You can kick it an awful lot further punting the ball than you can field goal kicking.
The only thing that Campbell may be thinking, it hasn't been a serious problem, but especially early in the game, some of the snaps back to Alisic were a little bit high.
You're right.
He might be concerned about that. The 1 field goal they tried was certainly a good enough snap and a placement, but it was just hooked wide by Dave Cutler. We have 6 seconds remaining in Montreal, Quebec. The East versus the West, and right now they are dead even at 23. As twilight descends upon the Olympic Stadium, and Dave Cutler will attempt to win Edmonton Eskimos an unprecedented 4th straight Grey Cup right here from 27 yards away.
And the heat is on the holder.
He's got it. No run back. That's a field goal. The Eskimos have come back, leading 26-23. We have 3 seconds on the clock.
Well, I'm not apologizing to say we were wrong, because I don't think we were wrong, but this is a great kick. He splits the uprights, no problem at all. You see Sutton, number 27, was close.
He wasn't far away. Well, it's a percentage call, and I'm with you. I think the percentage, if you're going to make a choice, would be to go with the punt. It's safer. But they executed that perfectly. Sutton tried to block it, just missed. 3 points the lead for the Edmonton Eskimos, but just 3 seconds available to the Ottawa Rough Riders. Virtually no chance for a comeback.
And there's a man that's doing something that no one else has ever done. 4 straight.
4 consecutive Grey Cup championship teams. And a man who's breathing a whole lot easier than he was 15 or 20 minutes ago.
He wasn't too happy in the first half. Well, you've got 3 seconds, and that's just 1 play. And Edmonton take 3 guys and put them down around the 10-yard line and let them camp out.
I think they're announcing the individual awards. We'll pass them along to you in just a moment. One last shot for the Ottawa Rough Riders. J.C. Watts, who's been named the outstanding offensive player, pushes the official out of the way. He's still clear. He can find somebody to help him out. Watts is across the line of scrimmage now. It is all his. He will not give up. Out to Stokwa, but he is down, and so are the hopes of Ottawa of scoring the upset. But boy, they have nothing to be ashamed about the way they handle themselves today. This Ottawa Rough Rider team, 22.5 to 24-point underdogs, had the Eskimos on the run for 3/4 of this game. With the Grey Cup, which is heading west to Alberta, oil country once again, but they really had to work for it. Ottawa came so close to scoring the most stunning upset in Grey Cup history. Wilkinson and his teammates, Larry Highbaugh, number 13, raising that Grey Cup high. But we have seen, I think, one of the most exciting Grey Cups and finishes in a Grey Cup in years.
Well, we don't do boring games, you know. We've had 3
We normally
great
handle
playoffs.
upsets and exciting games, nothing else, right?
We've had 3 super games. We have the upset, the BC Lions over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Then the following week we go to Hamilton and watch Ottawa knock off Hamilton. And then come here.
Came so close today.
Almost another upset, but a super football game.
All right, it is Edmonton winning at 26-23 on Cutler's 27-yard field goal.
Here comes on the quarterback sneak, and he finds a hole, but he fumbles, and Argonauts recover on the Winnipeg 19.
A dramatic climax to the first overtime Grey Cup game.
McQuaid sweeping left. Swift fumbles the ball. Reggie Holmes recovers for Calgary.